Celtics had a 20-point lead at one point in the first half. Golden State was led by Guy Santos with 11. Steph Curry out again, missing his 19th consecutive game with a knee injury, but the expectation is he will be back here in the next couple weeks. Warriors in the middle of a 6-game road trip. Podziemski without a field goal in that first half, and he's been their top scorer since the Curry injury. Melton was just 1 for 7. He's coming off the 27-point game. Shot clock winding down. Porzingis missed the three. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Tatum.
That's because Draymond Green put so much action in 4 championships. Like, this has got to be tough. You know, you're not winning games at the level you're accustomed to. The guy who has helped your game and whose game you have helped has been missing for such long stretches.
But he's played well so far tonight with 8 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Brown inside is fouled by Santos. Second personal, first team.
The enforcer. If anyone was going to mess with Steph Curry, they were going to have to go through the chest of Draymond Green. And look at him. Like nights like tonight where he's trying to contend with a very hot Jaylen Brown. Like, he's more motivated. Something to, you know, target and make yourself an impact player with.
Second chance opportunity, and Tatum turns it over for the 4th time. Podziemski in transition is fouled, missed the layup.
That is, you got a nick or a bruise, inevitably you're going to get hit in that. They were in the bonus with 7:30 to play in the second quarter and only got 3 free throws. But those are the margins. You got to take advantage of those situations that your opponent helped you get to, and also you put some pressure on to draw all those fouls.
Boston 45-23, second in the Eastern Conference. Shot clock down to 5. Brown working on Green. Falling away, and it's an air ball. Rebound Podziemski, and they've got numbers if they hustle. Santos from Podziemski, and it's batted away by Hauser out of bounds. 5-time first-team all-defense, won the NBA Hustle Award last year as well. Many thought could have won Defensive Player of the Year because Wembanyama didn't qualify. As Podziemski gets his first field goal, hits a 3-pointer, and it's a 7-point game. You touched on in the first quarter. This Warrior team is going to fight without Curry, without Butler. They're going to play. They've actually made the same number of baskets, 22 apiece for Boston and Golden State. Off the bounce, Brown, count it, and a foul. A 3-point opportunity.
So now if you're giving up inches and pounds, he will absolutely punish you.
Melton picks up the foul his second. The Celtics are 11 of 11 at the line. 14 games left, including tonight for both teams. Boston has Charlotte twice, Atlanta twice. They have the Thunder here. They lost in OKC last.
To 7 or 8, just to get 2 cracks at it.
Green picks up the foul.
A guy here coaching the Boston Celtics, absolutely there. The Lakers have overachieved, I think, relative to expectations. I'm not saying JJ's in to the top of the list, but he has done one heck of a job.
You saw that note, too, with Robert Parrish being in attendance tonight. James is closing in on his games played record as Podziemski puts up an air ball. 1 for 6 for Podziemski. Tatum against his former teammate. Thought about the step back, now crosses him over, drives, and finishes. What a gorgeous play by Jason Tatum. He looks back, and the Celtics lead.
And in his mind, the skill level is so high. And you're going to have to deal with both Jays at that level. Good luck.
It was a slow start for Boston, trying to adapt without Tatum as Podziemski is fouled. They were 0-3.
We had them. I had them when they were 1-4. And Jalen said, listen, Nikita, enormous jump and roll. Sam Hauser going to have to play a greater role. Peyton Pritchard was in the starting lineup. You're getting the lead defensive team, and you're having to produce if you're Peyton Pritchard. That's a level up from the 6th man of the year. All of these guys across the board, it has been a special season.
Brown lost the ball, trying to cross over and get through the lane. Green up the floor to the corner, and Podziemski in trouble with Hauser defending. He's got to get rid of it. Melton, and Boston didn't find Melton, but he missed again. Tough night for him.
Yeah, Tatum got screened off.
Melton 1 of 6 from 3. Warriors are 7 of 30. They trail by 11. Keita, Hauser, catch and shoot. Good on the 3 for Hauser.
Keita, a catch, your 7-footer in the starting lineup, all that responsibility. Catch Take your time, find the shooter in the corner.
His second three of the game. 170 on the year for Hauser. Porzingis, 5 points, 5 rebounds. Got the smaller Hauser on him. Creates some space with a little forearm to the chest.
Fort Oregon. Joe Mazzulla played in a Final Four for West Virginia back in 2010.
Here's Pritchard. Right on cue with the short shot on the baseline.
Joe Mazzulla played for the great Bobby Huggins. You talk about two guys whose personalities suit one another.
Pritchard kind of plays the way Mazzulla did, too. Not the biggest guy on the floor, but scrappy, tough, finds a way. And Mazzulla was a very good college player as Jaylen Brown turns it over. Get on the floor early. And last year, he's the 6th man of the year.
And he makes a nice pass there to Hauser. Can't make the three.
I mean, at one point, he requested a trade because he couldn't get on the floor.
5-minute mark in the third quarter. The lead still 12 as Santos throws it away.
So in Toronto, it was Vince Carter. LA, it's Kobe. The list goes on and on. I think that's pretty cool.
Can I hear my favorite phrase from you?
You're right.
Yes.
As Taylor just reported, he's honoring Larry Bird. And if you missed it, in the first half, Doris said she believed that he was wearing those for Larry Bird. So you are correct. And no, nobody gave you that information beforehand. So it was legit. I'll give it to you. Tatum off the bounce, leans in, trying to create contact and a foul called.
Point. It could have been a play on easily. Agreed. Is that sort of the marginal term we talk about all the time?
21 points now for Tatum. His single game high since coming back is 24. This is game 6 for him. Entry to post on the low block against the smaller Pritchard, who just hammers him.
Boy, I tell you, Charlotte, what an improvement for them. And 5, 6, 7, and 8 in the East. You touched on it the first half. That is going to be a fascinating race.
Charlotte currently in the 10th spot, but a game over 500. Early on, they were miserable. It was a great turnaround. Charles Lee and that roster as Garza floats it up and in.
Charles, of course, here in Boston for the championship season.
3.5 to go in the third. Warriors ball down 17. Post on the back down again against Pritchard. Shot clock at 5 for Santos. Crosses over, Garza twice, gets to the basket and missed the layup. Did everything to finish. Here's Jaylen Brown, 26 points, a game high. Nice feed to Pritchard. Garza misses inside.
It's 2 passes by Pritchard where Garza could not finish.
Santos short of the triple try. Brown skies in for the rebound.
That's been rolling all season long.
And then we just added a guy that can do a little bit of everything out there. So just having him do offensively, just creating, scoring, defensively, rebounding, flying around. So it's obviously great to have him back.
You guys have a double-digit lead. What's the key to closing this one out in the fourth quarter?
We got to take care of the ball. They're probably going to up the pressure a little bit here, and then rebound, and then get out and do some good offense. So pretty simple.
Thank you. Dave?
And you know Golden State is going to keep fighting Taylor. And Draymond Green just hit a 3 to get it down to 13. That is the third 3 for Green tonight. Tatum is starting the fourth quarter. He has played 25 minutes. He has 21 points, 8 rebounds. As White's 3 is no good. Shireman has it. Left knee ACL. Pritchard stepped on the sideline. So turnover number 13 on Boston.
Can we just touch on Derek White, though? Like, we're talking about Jaylen in the year. He's had Derek White career high points, assists, steals, blocks. He is averaging over a steal and over a block. What's his size?
6'6", 6'7". And he's been named All-NBA defensively twice. I think on second team as Green scores inside. There's a good argument Derek White should be first team this year.
No doubt. And then a well-coached team. They are going to keep coming. You've got to finish this if you're Boston.
So a 9-0 run for the Warriors going back to the end of the third. Three-pointer from Derek White. Much-needed hit by White.
And if you see him play here, feels like he hits a lot of momentum-busting shots.
Draymond Green, too strong. Tatum with his 9th rebound. He's averaging 8 in the 5 games back for the Celtics. Shireman through the lane. One hands it to Pritchard, who's got 13 points off the bench. Shireman will hoist. No good on the 3. Rebound Pajemski looking to run. 3-on-2 if they hustle. And Derek White was the one that hustled and poked it away. Shireman walks into a 3.
So Derek White hits the momentum initial busting 3. The dead sprint to create another turnover into a 3. That's a 6-point swing he's involved with.
Tough pass to handle there. Green to Melton. White the other way. Pritchard. 3 is not close. Rebound Santos. Empty possession again for Golden State. And they'll credit Tatum with his 10th rebound. So a double-double for Jason Tatum. White drives and scores, plus a foul. And Derek White on both ends of the floor. But the lead for Boston is 17. 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th quarter. Green working hard defensively to deny Jason Tatum. So Tatum takes it and post and scores.
Come on now. Come on now. He fakes a dribble handoff. Couple bounces to the cup. I don't know that we can adequately talk about like the leap his game has taken with the opportunity earned. I mean, they had the best, deepest front court in the league last year. You had 3 legit centers.
Will be interesting in the playoffs as Payton gets inside for 2. You think about when they won the championship, Porzingis is on the floor. You got 5 3-point shooters.
Right.
Payton, you're not going to have that, but obviously a very valuable part of what they've accomplished in the regular season.
Well, they're certainly doing things a little bit differently defensively. I mean, offensively. The more off-ball screens. We saw Payton set a flare screen earlier. And Shireman in the mix. I can't even look at an ankle turn, let alone a dislocated finger.
5 rebounds and 3 points for Shireman. Plenty of time for Golden State. Payton, nicely done off the window.
See what I mean about this guy playing well? I mean, he's a power forward of that size. Screens like Neemias Queta, right? Like he sets that many screens when he's on the floor.
Right, a power forward at 6'3". Queta hangs and drops it in.
Possessions.
How about that screen set by Green? Pajemski can't make it, though. He's 1 for 8 from the floor.
Pajemski's got to find that 3-point shooting, David.
Meanwhile, Pritchard blows past Green on the other end and gets the layup. Catch by Green. Couldn't finish. Payton does, though, with the follow jam.
See, that's his game. He's all around the rim. And Payton, one of those guys who's just a good soul. He's got the last 6. You know, he's the kind of guy I want on my team, Gary Payton. Great in the locker room. Great in his role.
Meanwhile, Pritchard again gets to the basket and finds a way to score. He's got 17 points and 6 assists. Payton for 3. Pajemski gets the board and was kept alive initially by Green. Post on the deep catch. Extra pass by Green. Richard missed the 3. Shireman with another rebound. Golden State, if it doesn't come back, this would be their 36th loss. That would tie them with Portland in the 10th spot in the West. As Tatum throws a 3, 24 points. That ties his season high. 5 threes, that is a season high.
They stagger in the minutes of Tatum and Brown, if you notice, in stretches in this basketball game. You're going to keep an elite scorer with high usage capabilities on the floor at all times.
Tatum 7 of 14, 5 of 10 from behind the arc, crossing over Green. Now the step back, in and out for Tatum on the 3. And White trying to...
Has been outstanding for this group all year.
3rd year with Boston. Spent his first 2 seasons in the NBA with the Kings. Santos driving. Queta knocks it away as Pritchard hit the deck. Kickball. 14 on the shot clock for the Warriors. Brown was having some fun with Pritchard. Shot clock at 10. Spencer in the lane. Payton teardrops it through.
I tell you, Gary Payton, what's he got now? Did a little bit of work, 14 points and 7 of 11 shooting.
He's got the last 8 for the Warriors, but they're down 20. Pritchard out to White. Short on the 3. 35 minutes to play. Mention what happens to the Warriors if they lose, dropping into 10th in the West, tied with Portland. If Boston wins, it'll stay up 2 games on the Knicks for the 2 seed. Pritchard on the cut and finish, post with the pass, and a timeout by Joe Mazzulla. This season, get the Celtics out of the Eastern Conference, and right now, with Tatum down, they might be the team to beat. And that's no disrespect to Detroit. It's been a great year for the Pistons, but they haven't been where the Celtics have been in the playoffs before. They lost in the first round of the Knicks last year as Brown is fouled.
And obviously Detroit facing absolutely maddening to me, because at their peak, when they're playing great and the ball's popping and Julius is at a high level, they look tough to beat.
They're calling a transition take foul.
Wow.
3 of a 6-game road trip for the Warriors, who will head to Detroit Friday to play the Pistons. Kate Cunningham shaken up the other night for Detroit. He's had an MVP caliber season. Jalen Duren, who could be most improved player in the NBA. J.B. Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year candidate. Last touch by Nate Williams, so it's Boston. I would think at this point with 4:25 on the clock, he gets over 30. Pritchard driving through traffic again, leans in, can't muscle it home, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Celtics. Brown, as he's falling out of bounds, had to put up the 3 and a bounce to Golden State. Of course, I know we've talked a lot about the players for the Celtics and the credit that they deserve for
Role definition for the guys who have either stepped into a completely new role or whose roles have changed. And one thing I loved about what he said earlier is, and this is when they were 1 and 4, like he was not panicking. He said, we're all learning. I'm learning personnel. I'm learning how to coach different, stylistically different.
Jalen Brown with the basket, counted, and the foul. So Brown up to 31. You hear the MVP chants raining down at TD Garden for Jalen Brown, who gets his 32nd point and likely will come out at the next dead ball.
You want to endear yourself to Boston fans, show up at the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And she did yesterday for the first time, and man, they were going nuts as Pritchard intercepts that pass. Waits for the defender, and then attacks and scores. And it's up to a 26-point lead. Leon's in trouble on the baseline, tried to hit Yurtsevin, turned it over. Brown on the open floor, and he fumbles it out of play, and then is saved. Ime Udoka is let go by the organization. Joe Mazzulla moves from an assistant chair to head coach, and in his 2nd year, he wins an NBA title.
Come on, how cool is that? That coincidence or has them in the same fight. It's just incredible.
That was the year Gordon Hayward missed that half-court shot that would have beat Duke. As Yurtsevin scores inside.
I think about the success Brad Stevens had at Butler. I mean, they were a formidable program.
And then obviously came to Boston when they were rebuilding. And had great success here, and then has done a tremendous job as an executive. 116-90 with 2:40 to go. Spencer, Yurtsevin with a follow jam. Signed a 10-day contract, but given all the injuries, Steve Kerr says get in there. He's played a few games now for the Warriors, who will drop to 33-36. They're now tied with Portland. And that's 2 back of the Clippers for the 8th spot. Again, 7 and 8, very important in the play-in because you're automatically going to get 2 cracks at getting into the playoffs, where if you're 9 or 10, you need to win to have a second chance. So the next home game is against Brooklyn a week from tonight. It's possible that either that game or the Washington game, the next game, that we could see Curry. But again, we'll know more this weekend. This is the 19th straight game he's missed. And on the season, so since the injury, they're 6-13 now without Curry. But obviously losing Butler, I mean, you go back to when Jimmy Butler was healthy and the Warriors were a different team, obviously. They were healthy and they were winning. As Mitchell gets a slam and foul called.
Spencer Hodge.
Don't forget Lakers Rockets up next. The Lakers make it 7 straight wins. Three-pointer is short. Warriors ball. Given how far back Memphis is, find ballers to your lineup and elevate your game today.
He said earlier this week, I can't remember a team being this beat up ever. His record without Steph will go to...
Yep. And 8-17 since Butler went out with the ACL. There were a handful of games over 500 when Butler went down, playing about as well as anybody in the West at that point. Pass inside. Massey. Call for 3 seconds.
And like, his schedule is so militant in terms of like recovery and process. The amount of time before the game even tips, just his process.
They're 43-25 right now, 3rd place in the West. That's where they finished last year. Denver and Minnesota for that 3 seed in the West. So big game for them tonight coming up. Likewise for Houston, trying to tie up the Lakers in the conference. Turnover by Boston. Warriors looking to run. Williams. Loose ball. Out of bounds to Boston. So the Celtics won, and they remain solidly in 2nd place in the Eastern Conference. And what a night for Jason Tatum. His best game since returning. He had 24 points, 10 rebounds, and he had 16 of those in the first half on 5 of 9 shooting. Jaylen Brown hit 32 to lead all scorers as the Celtics win again. They just take care of business. That's how it's been this season.